Okay, so here we are, my spot where we're going to build a wilderness shelter. We got some big trees laying in the way, right where I want to put it, but it's pretty flat ground underneath. Have to get a lot of debris out of there. This big rock right here has a nice channel in it. That I will use for a fireplace chimney. It's very sheltered. We got this big rock and cliff face here, so it's very sheltered. So the first thing I'm going to do is get these big trees out of the way. Got her notched out pretty good. The goal, we want it to go right in there. Absolutely perfect, right where I wanted it. Okay, it took all day to get these big timbers down, kind of cut up and kicked out of the way. Got that big log to get out of the way next. And then I can get my four corners and start with the walls. Day 2 of construction here. I managed to get that support post up yesterday. Of course, I took down that tree. Got it to fall right up there. That boulder was also underneath that log, laying right in the middle of exactly where I want the shelter. So I got that out of the way. That must have been, I don't know, it's probably 1,000 pounds. Just ridiculous. Used the post as a lever. Just got underneath it and worked it out. Okay, so this is day 3. I got this base log in place. This is basically the foundation of the wall. And then up above, I did the roof and temporarily put the tarp up because of the rain. So this actually gives me a nice dry place to do some work while it's raining. So today I will have to excavate some of the soil out and fill it into this low spot. I want to bring my soil up to about this level here and take all that out, and we will put down 2 more big timbers as the base foundation. We'll put one across here. We'll line it right up with that. We'll have a support post here, and then we'll lay the 3rd log right in through here, and I will set up the time-lapse camera and document the progress for today. Okay, so we got our little air channel for the fireplace. Goes down in here. And comes out right there. That's our air inlet. Packed in a bunch of stones, create this nice void. Put some soil over the top of that, and that'll seal that off entirely. Okay, we got some excavation done here. we've exposed some nice boulders that will probably work very well for the fireplace. So just kind of threw a couple up there, get them out of the way. Got this all filled in pretty well. Get a little more soil in there to seal that off. Next thing I'm going to do is cut that one to be our foundation piece that we'll lay right through here. And get that into position and get it peeled. So, coming along okay. It's hard with, you know, just using what tools you have on hand. No shovels or picks or anything like that. So, tedious, but we can get her done. Okay, we're back. I went ahead and set this bottom log here this morning, and we're going to put our wall on top of it. So 1, 2, 3 walls. Fourth wall, of course, is a rock. So I'm going to set up a time-lapse camera and record all of that for today. Okay, we've got the 4 corner posts now in place. I just notched out top and bottom. Lock them in place real nice. And then the walls, all I'm going to do is take these smaller diameter trees, wire tie them together, and bring them all the way up. There'll be an inside and an outside, and I will insulate the void. I'll bring the logs all the way to the rock, all the way up, and on this end I'll bring them all the way up to this tree stump, and that'll be the wall that'll be insulated. We'll do the same thing on this wall, as well as this wall here, which I will have my doorway through. So now it's just a matter of grabbing a whole bunch of so big diameter by, I don't know, 10 feet long, whatever they might be, and tying them all the way up, and then filling the wall space with debris for insulation. So I'll gather up a bunch of those, and we'll do a time lapse of the wall assembly. So I've mentioned that I'm going to insulate the walls, and what I'm going to use for insulation largely is this material here. You know, this is rotted tree, and you know, it's very lightweight, very airy, would make premium insulation. Just this log right here will give me quite a bit of material. I don't know that I'll find enough to do all of it, but do most of it with this. No bugs in it. I think this is probably the best material that nature can provide for insulating walls. Day 5 at the Primitive Wilderness Shelter. I guess the biggest thing that I got done today was the fireplace. I wanted to do that before the walls got too far bringing in all the rocks and stuff with the walls not up makes it a lot easier. Of course, I used that crack in the rock and then stacked the stone up all the way around it. And of course there's a void inside, and that's going to vent all the smoke out. To seal it off, I'm going to take and put a bunch of soil, gravel, whatever over the whole top of this thing, seal it all off so no smoke can get out, and I'll have a good draft. And then I've got my air supply coming from down here under the ground and into the side of the fireplace here. And then of course up there, that's where all my smoke's gonna go. Should work beautifully. I started closing up the roof. We're gonna put all these timbers in here real nice and tight all the way across, and then the tarp over the top of it, obviously. Tarp is just kind of in a temporary position right now for a little bit of shade and to keep me out of the rain. So now I will continue to build up my wall. Of course you can see the void here. We're going to fill all that with debris, sort of insulation all the way up. And that's what I will continue on with day 6. Coming along. Of course the toughest part was getting started with moving the big timbers out of the way and getting that big boulder. That took an entire day to do that. And of course some excavating. Had to excavate all this out. It was all sloped coming into here. That took a bit of time, but it is what it is. You deal with what you deal with. But pretty good site, very good shelter. The crack in the rock for the fireplace, amazing. So we'll continue with day 6 next time. We're back at the shelter for day 6 of construction, and the goal for today is to finish the roof. What we have has been temporary, and I want to fill it entirely all the way across with the logs right side by side touching, and we'll insulate the top, put some branches on it and whatnot. So this morning I spent a few hours cutting all of the logs here for the roof, and so we should have everything that we need. So I'm going to disassemble what we have up on the roof here as a temporary, and go ahead and put all these guys in there, tie them down, put the tarp back over it, insulate it, throw some branches over the top of it. So that's what we're up to today. Okay, I've got them all up. Now I'm going to go up top and secure the tarp. Pull that tarp on nice and tight, secure it down, and we'll insulate the roof. Tarp is on the roof. Now we're going to insulate with some debris. And I excavated some debris off the forest floor right here. And that's what we're putting on the roof here for insulation. Several more sacks to go, and then I think we're insulated and in good shape on that roof. Back at the shelter, day 7 has been spent mostly gathering up ground debris to cover the roof, 6 or 7 inches deep. I'm going to throw some sticks, some pieces of wood, logs, pine boughs, all on the top. This stuff is quite light, probably very good insulating properties, and pine boughs and all that will hold it in place so the wind doesn't blow it off. Pine boughs are now on the roof, which does a couple of things. Makes it blend in nicely with the surroundings, but it also is going to help hold on all the forested debris. And here is where I harvested a lot of that from. Put that up all on the roof. Very well insulated. Blends in nicely with the surroundings. That's going to be a great roof for waterproof and insulation. Insulating the walls with this debris from decayed wood. I'll show you that process. Come on now. You can't get a better insulation than that in nature. Look at that. This thing's going to be as warm as a house. There's no reason you have to be out cold, in a natural shelter. It shouldn't be cold. Day 9. Back wall is complete. And the void is filled with insulation, which is decayed wood. Got my corner post set for the next wall. Couple of logs loosely in place. I'm gonna come back next weekend. We'll build that wall. The outside is nicely blended in. Frankly, it's hard to even see. The bunk above the fireplace, I'm thinking it's gonna be warm. We'll build our doorway right through here after we get that side wall up, get that doorway in, and then we'll finish this front wall. And then that's probably gonna just about wrap it up. Progress update. Got the back wall done and the side wall is done. Built the same way as the back wall. You can see the punk wood here, which fills the void behind this log. That's going to be an extremely well insulated wall. This area here is going to be a dry place to store firewood. And what we're working on now is we're going to frame in the doorway here and then complete this last section of the wall here. So I'll set up a time-lapse video of that and show you how that goes. So we're at our wilderness shelter for our winter experience. Show you inside. Pack hanging in the corner. There's my bunk. Over the top of the fireplace with spruce bough bedding, stack of firewood, kitchen, there's our fire, $55. Pretty nice. in the low 20s last night and nearly 60 degrees inside. So this mega insulation double wall works really, really well. Very satisfied. Thought I'd take a little video shot from the rooftop of the shelter. Little smoke coming out of the chimney. It works so good, no smoke inside the shelter. We're at 10,000 feet plus. Quite the stunning views. Bit of a cliff here behind me. Not a soul up here. Just me, the crazy one. Down below the shelter right now. Built it behind a big boulder. Yeah, a really big boulder. This is what it looks like from down below. If you look close, you can see the smoke coming out by these two angled deadfalls. Right there. This wilderness shelter is in the Rocky Mountains at over 10,000 feet in the wilderness, obviously. And the experience of the winter outing has been a tremendous success. Stays very, very warm inside. Got up to 66 degrees. So extremely comfortable, extremely well insulated. Very pleased. Gonna head out, got the snowshoes. I'll be climbing up a pretty steep grade, so snowshoes will go on after that. And then the shoes will go on. I've got about 7 miles back to the truck. It's going to be physically demanding, to say the least. Getting in was, tougher because I had to break trail with the snowshoes, and oh, that's a workout. There's no stair stepper in any gym that can compare to that. I had to come up, I don't know, maybe somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 feet in elevation, so pretty big elevation gain. Yeah, snow is, I don't know, up to here without snowshoes on, and it's really cold, really slippery, hard to get any grip. Just take 2 steps up and slide 1 step back. Pretty tough, but it's amazing out here. It's very worth it. I love it. Well, time to get moving. Got a long way to go.